Hello to you and welcome. Thank you for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm News 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on our top stories of the week so far and look ahead at what's to come around San Diego. We do begin with that breaking news. We've been following a guilty verdict in the Larry Millete murder trial.
From the bottom of my heart and from my entire family, the Tabalanza family, we thank Chrissy Bowles for her hard work for the entire 5 years, her dedication and her entire team to work on this case. I can't thank them enough.
Yeah, that was one of Maya's sister there. The 5.5-year saga of missing Chula Vista mom Maya Millete reached its dramatic conclusion in a South Bay courtroom as jurors found her husband Larry guilty of first-degree murder after just 6 hours of deliberations. Their family has been in court every single day. They say while justice has been served, they still just want to bring Maya home. This was a rare no-body case, so jurors relied on circumstantial and digital evidence.
This probably have been served today, but we still have my sister out there. We still have a second step to go through. We still have to bring my sister home, to bring her to her 3 children that's been waiting for her for 5 years.
I think he's a master manipulator. I think he's very good at what he does. And I think that he may have thought that he could get away with this too.
That was one of the jurors there at the end who you will hear more from. Of course, a lot of emotion in the courtroom, tears, hugs, and cheers. The trial lasted 8 weeks and 70 witnesses were brought in to testify about spellcast requests, Maya's affair, files and folders deleted by Larry, the 12 hours he left the house the day after she disappeared with his cell phone off. Jurors tell me it was like a 10,000-piece puzzle, but ultimately 12 strangers, 7 women, 5 men, unanimously agreed Larry killed her and that Maya would have never left her children. She had contacted a divorce attorney the very day she went missing, and prosecutors believe Larry buried her body in the desert. As for Maya and Larry's 3 children, they are now in the custody of Maya's sister, Mary Chris, who you heard there, after spending nearly 3 years in the custody of their paternal grandparents. And I actually did try to catch up with Larry Milliete's mother and father as they left court. They have also been there every day in support of their son.
Jesus was condemned by the world. Okay, just do your thing, okay?
Yeah.
The favor that I asked you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Just do your thing, okay?
Okay.
Jesus knows what is, okay? Love Jesus.
Yeah, and you can hear now more from that juror who says they only had to decide if Larry killed Maya, not how it happened. Prosecutors have suggested loud bangs heard on neighborhood surveillance were gunshots, though no blood was found in the home. There was also a small vial of a poisonous plant found in the Millete home that Larry had done searches on. The defense argued there is no evidence a murder even has occurred and that she could have left on her own.
Where there was no body, we never saw anything come out of the house. We were convinced she didn't go out of the back fence, the black wrought-iron fence. Sure. And there was no evidence that she came out the front door, went to the side, to the right or left. There was cameras. Zero evidence of her ever leaving, except for on January the 8th at 6:30-ish in the morning when he backs that out, starts at 6:01. It's all there in the record. And then he pulls away and he's gone for approximately 12 hours. We think he took her in that vehicle, the Lexus, and he knows where he's left her. As far as how exactly did he kill her, and we didn't have to come to a unanimous decision on how he actually did it.
Where do you think Maya is?
I think she is out in the desert. I think it's because it's familiar to him, to Maya, and I would think in a way to honor her, to put her in a place that she really enjoyed, and a place knowing the kids would go back with family members. That's where I would think.
Defense also pointed to the fact that Maya could have technically left on her own, that surveillance cameras in the neighborhood might not have captured that. I mean, she would have had to jump over her backyard fence and walk down a drainage ditch. Just unfathomable.
The defense started with that from day one on their opening, and theirs was she probably left over the back fence, and number two, the affair. And that was their theme. And so, no, when we looked at that back fence and we saw the drainage, and then when the defense brought in their investigator and the prosecution said, did you do this at nighttime? Did you do this with, and he hadn't. And so to us on the jury, it's like, it's unreasonable. She would have never left her children. She would have never left her family. Never.
All right, so here is what comes next in the case. Larry Millete is due back in court next month for a status conference. He is facing a sentence of 25 years to life in prison. No sentencing date has been set yet, though. You can watch our extended coverage on the free CBS 8 app on your phone or TV. Well, one local city is the second in the nation when it comes to credit card debt. We'll get to some other news next. The South Bay city that is now more than $1 billion in the red. And streaming right now on our free CBS 8 app, a new backstory on the city of San Diego's new e-bike rules. I had an in-depth conversation with San Diego City Council member Raul Campillo about the regulations, possible consequences, and more. Hope you check it out. Keep it here. Well, as the cost of living continues to rise, more and more Americans are borrowing more on credit, especially in one South Bay city. A new study by Wallet Hub finds that Chula Vista has the nation's second highest amount of average credit card debt, with more than $1.7 billion in collective credit card debt. The average household is carrying a balance of nearly $21,000, with the average annual interest rate between 20 and 25%, and sometimes higher. Trying to pay off those balances for some people can often take years.
Using credit cards to pay for food and basically make minimum payments. They're financing milk and eggs. And that's where they should know that something needs to change.
Yeah, this study by Wallet Hub finds that when it comes to the nation's highest credit card debt, 7 out of the top 10 cities are in California, including Santa Clarita, Fontana, Oxnard, and Santa Ana. Well, a court ruling is forcing the city of San Diego to halt its crackdown on street vendors. Back in January, a state appeals court ruled the city was illegally impounding carts and other property of vendors. So the city ultimately chose to not appeal that ruling. Organizations like the Gas Lamp Corridor Association report that they are frustrated, but some vendors say they are just trying to make a living. A spokesperson for the San Diego Police Department says the court rulings have limited what police officers can do to enforce street vending laws. Well, you know it, finding an apartment here in San Diego, though, actually getting easier. The city's vacancy rate just hit a 25-year high at 6.1%. Downtown, that number nearly doubles. Developers are on pace to build 6,000 new apartment units still this year, which will likely then push the vacancy rate even higher. Experts expect vacancy rates to begin stabilizing over the next year and a half as construction slows and more people move to San Diego. However, due to a housing shortage, state law requires the city to plan for more than 100,000 new housing units by 2029. Well, a trip to Mission Bay could soon come with a longer walk to the bathroom. The city is shutting down nearly half of the park's public restrooms to save money, but not everyone thinks it's worth the cost. News 8's Shannon Handy tells us which ones and explains why.
The city waited until after the 4th of July holiday to implement these closures. In all, 13 restrooms will be shut down. It's a cost-saving move, but a lot of people I spoke with say that doesn't justify the impact these closures will have. Whether you're spending the day on the water or just passing through, visitors say restrooms are a necessity at Mission Bay Park.
It's so unfortunate because we come out here all the time in the summer. We just want to be in the water and enjoy our beautiful city. So to have these bathrooms being shut down, it's just really restricting where we can go.
I just think that they should be looking at other options.
Starting today, the city began the process of closing 13 of the 28 public restrooms surrounding Mission Bay, citing budget constraints. The restrooms marked in red are among those impacted, including El Carmel, De Anza South, Tecolote North, and Vacation Isle West. The city is also removing 7 of the 14 portable restrooms on Fiesta Island. Officials say the closures will save about $546,000, most of it in cleaning and maintenance costs.
Let's be honest, the relative cost of keeping a restroom open in the scheme of a city budget is very small.
Bradley Schnell owns a business nearby and founded the Mission Bay Park Conservancy, a new nonprofit focused on preserving and improving the park. He says the group is ready to partner with the city to keep the restrooms open. According to Schnell, community members have already offered donations to help cover the cost.
We need approval in order to be able to do these things, and so our goal right now is to engage with the city, work with them, and find ways to collaborate and be a support for these operational challenges they have.
With summer crowds filling the park, Schnell hopes a solution can be found quickly.
There's one thing that is truly non-political when it comes to things that people care about, and that's having access to restrooms. When you need one, it should be there, and the community and the city really needs to be providing those in Mission Bay Park. And if they can't, then that's what the Conservancy will do.
The city says the closure process is already underway, and most of the restrooms should be shut down within the next few days. For now, there's no timeline for when they might reopen. The budget also cut $750,000 from the city's Homelessness Strategies and Solutions Department by eliminating portable restrooms and related security services at 4 downtown locations. For a full list of closures, as well as which ones will remain open, just log on to CBS8.com. Reporting from Mission Bay, I'm Shannon Handy for News 8.
Shannon, thanks. Well, crews have been busy getting the Del Mar Fairgrounds back in order following the fair, and the numbers are in. Around 873,000 people attended this year. Organizers say more than 36,000 turkey legs were sold, with over 15,000 gallons of lemonade served. Also, more than 900 items were turned into the San Diego County Fair's Lost and Found. That is more than last year. News 8's Abby Black shows us this year's haul and how you can still claim what's yours.
It's the epilogue to this year's San Diego County Fair. We're inside the Lost and Found, where there are 905 unclaimed items. We're talking about dance shoes, a yearbook, even a drum pedal. And fair officials say there's still time to claim your happy ending.
We have quite a variety of things, as you can see.
A walker.
How do you not go home without your walker?
Some bedding.
I even have, believe it or not, 2 pillows.
And 1 hubcap from a Ford.
Oh, this is one fun. We have a Ford hubcap that was left in Funville.
But the one thing people always come back for.
We got about over 100 cell phones turned in, and I only have a few left. We leave them on during the day, and of course they'll ring. I lost my cell phone.
This Lost and Found is left behind by the 872,816 guests who attended this year's Once Upon a Fair over 20 days.
And we had 904 items. Well, actually, 905. I got one today.
Every single one logged by hand.
They want us to go online and do it electronically, but when you get 900 items, it's hard.
The fair's guest services coordinator, Gail Tompkins, has been keeping track for years.
This is my 25th fair.
And she's not switching systems now.
But we're old school. We're old.
54 sets of keys, shoes, 2 boxes of water bottles, and dozens of sunglasses.
Exactly 100.
Do you know approximately when you lost it?
And the phone keeps ringing.
Still a chance that could be found and turned in.
Not all hope is lost.
Yeah, we had a beautiful wedding set come in, but fortunately the gal claimed it.
But no one's claimed a high-tech high middle school yearbook.
Aviana Aguilera's 8th grade, this might be her book.
Licenses, credit cards, wallets.
If I have an address, I'll mail a card to a guest saying I have an item of theirs, please call. I don't tell them what it is.
All of it turned in by workers and fellow fairgoers.
Dance sticks,
Whatever's not claimed by September, Tompkins donates. All you have to do is call 858-794-1124. Leave a message, and Tompkins guarantees a call back, whether your item is lost or found.
It's like a treasure hunt, yeah. So we'd like to get people back with their stuff.
At the San Diego County Fair, Abby Black, News 8.
Abby, thank you. We do have an Earth 8 report straight ahead. I'll introduce you to our new neighbors, the Elegant Tern, and explain why tens of thousands just flew north. Well, if you have been around San Diego Bay recently, you may have been near the entire world population of elegant terns. The birds are nesting here in San Diego after a marine heat wave wiped out their usual nesting grounds in Mexico. Tens of thousands flew north here and found a new home on San Diego Bay. Meteorologist Sean Stiles got a rare access to it all, the refuge, to see one of the biggest colonies ever recorded. He shares more in an Earth 8 report.
It is nesting season here in the San Diego Bay National Wildlife Refuge. And over my shoulder, these are elegant terns. And the numbers this year are near record-breaking.
We know we currently have somewhere over 40,000 nests. One of our purposes in here today is to count this subcolony to see how much we've gone up from the last couple weeks.
Robert Paxton is a consulting biologist on the refuge and took us out to witness the astonishing population of elegant terns.
You're potentially looking at the world population of breeding elegant terns right now.
Normally, many of these birds would be nesting on Isla Rosa in the Gulf of California, but the marine heat wave has turned everything upside down.
With this warm water that we've had, the fisheries collapsed there. So all those birds moved up to Southern California. So the only elegant terns that we know of at this point nesting in the state are right here in San Diego.
But right now we're not.
No, you can see them settling right back down onto their eggs, so we're far enough away.
This year's count for nesting elegant terns is the second most ever.
Several years ago, we had basically the entire world breeding population show up here in San Diego, and we had just under 60,000. So far this year, we've got just over 40,000.
What makes this possible is the relationship between SoCal Saltworks and their brining ponds and the refuge.
You've got this nice isolated habitat here, protected from predators, protected from disturbance from people, and with plenty of offshore fish. Or at least at this point in time, there's enough that they seem to be doing okay.
Joining us is the manager of the San Diego Bay National Wildlife Refuge, Sally Brown.
It's really important for us to have a safe place for those species to live so that they can reproduce and continue to enrich our lives for years to come.
It is that public-private relationship between SoCal Saltworks and their ponds which provides the habitat for the brine shrimp and brine flies the birds eat.
We work collaboratively with them, and I appreciate everything they do to help us with these maintain and manage these habitats. So we have these food resources so that we have this safe refuge that's free of disturbance.
Mixed in with the elegant terns, you'll find royal terns, cormorants, Caspian terns, and then along the shore, feasting on those flies, are the black-necked stilts and American avocets. Over 230 different birds can be found on the San Diego Bay National Wildlife Refuge, and this year, over 15 different species will be nesting. When I asked Sally about the year's numbers, the smile on her face said it all.
It's absolutely spectacular.
Oh, there's some fish right there. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
And while we were there, the first hatchlings were emerging.
They'll hatch here, they'll fledge here, they'll start feeding here, and then the vast bulk of the population actually heads north into northern California, even up to Washington, Oregon, and then they head south into Mexico and farther down into Central and South America during the winter.
That's why the refuge is so important.
It's so unique to San Diego that, again, there's nowhere else that we have this combination of species together. This is very much a San Diego phenomenon, you know, and we should feel very blessed to have it in our backyard.
And as we heard Robert say, there's at least 40,000 nesting pairs. So do the math. That means there's 80,000 birds, and that's just one species here on the San Diego Bay National Wildlife Refuge. So you can see how important of a role it plays in the Pacific Flyway. Sean Stiles, Earth 8.
Wow, Sean, thank you. You can stream more of our Earth 8 reports on the CBS 8 app. That includes Earth 8 San Diego Blue, which highlights how our beaches are more than just a tourist attraction, of course, and the work that is being done to keep them healthy. Download the CBS 8 app on your TV and watch for free. Still ahead, how to help hungry kids this summer. Well, the San Diego Food Bank is beginning phase 2 of its summer food drive, and the need is urgent. With kids out of school and missing daily meals that they get there at school, the food bank is now serving nearly 400,000 people every single month. Donation barrels are set up right now at select Albertsons, Vons, and Pavilions all across our county. You can also run your own virtual food drive online. We have all those details on how you can help posted on our website, cbs8.com. Well, that will do it for us. Thank you so much, as always, for your time, for staying informed. For News 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take care.